Hello guys, it is Brittany here and welcome back to my Colorguard YouTube channel. So I haven't said that in a minute. So kind of an explanation on why I've been gone. I actually made all of my YouTube videos as technique videos for my kids to follow during COVID when everything was online or virtual. And I posted them on YouTube because that was honestly the easiest way to get them out there. I never thought in a million years that any of my videos would even get traction outside of like my programs, but some of my videos ended up having thousands of views, which is wild. And almost on a daily basis, I've been getting comments from people saying how my videos have helped them on an audition here or getting on the weapon line there, and how my information was really helpful. And that just makes me so happy. So if you've left a comment or watched any of my videos in the past, thank you very much. I very much do appreciate it. But I want to get on here and say that because of all of you guys that have seen my videos, I want to start making more. I've been very busy, which is why I have not made a video in 2 years now, I think it's been, which is crazy. But despite me being busy, I really want to try to get more videos out there because I know a lot of you guys benefit from that. Whether you're just trying to get ahead in your program, maybe you don't really have a consistent instructor, or maybe not an instructor at all, or you're just someone who's trying to, learn a new skill here and there. Wherever you're on your Colorguard journey, I would love to be of assistance. So if you're seeing this video, feel free to leave a comment on some topics or skills you want me to talk about. Today, for this video, I'm going to be talking about what are some of the things that you can do as a performer to make you better a lot faster and make you a lot more consistent of a performer. So let's get into it. Tip number 1. Here's how you can become a lot better about learning choreography. When you're learning choreography, your eyes are your number 1 tool. What I mean by that is there is so much you can learn with just in 1 second of looking at someone. Let's say even if someone just teaches you 2 counts like this. Within those 2 counts, there's so much information that happens. So not only do you want to look at where their flag is at, so, in what part of space are they at? Where are they on the flag? Are they at stopper or on a rifle or saber? How are their hands? Are they palm up, palm down? What is their lower body doing? That is so important. Especially as a younger Colorguard person, we never like to think about our lower body unless our instructor reminds us of so. But body motivates equipment. If you learn nothing else today, know that body motivates equipment. Always. You literally cannot spin your equipment without your body. So it's important that we use it not just with our hands, but also our lower body to motivate the speed in which our equipment is moving. Another thing besides lower body is focus. That's a very small detail, but let's say the choreographer wants you to look up at your equipment. That might seem like a really small detail you can skim over, but if you've ever seen an ensemble moment happen and they all ensembly look a certain way, or like there's a big focus change, not only is it super exciting to watch as an audience member, judges love that because it's demonstrating that all the members of the ensemble are performing at a consistent level, and that's a very, very important thing when it comes to competing. Tip number 2 is how you can get better at learning new skills or new tricks. The most important thing when you learn a new skill is to break it down. What I mean by that is every single thing we do in Colorguard is normally 1,000 things at once, which is what makes it hard. Let's say if I'm doing a toss turnaround, let's say I'm doing it on double. First, I have to be able to master my doubles on flag because that's going to be one part of the trick. Another part is mastering the turn. People turn 1,000 different ways, so obviously if your instructor has a preferred way to turn, go by that. But you can practice the turn without your equipment. Put your equipment down, practice the turn a few times. Make sure you can consistently land in the same spot, and that you're not moving to the back or to the front, that your turn is consistent. 5 and 6, and 5, 6, 7, 8, toss, turn, look, catch. Now you can practice saying the words. I am a huge word person when it comes to Colorguard, meaning that when I'm doing a skill, I like to say what I'm doing because it helps your brain so much communicate what your hands need to do. Let's say I'm doing this double on flag. I'm going to go toss, turn, look, catch. While I'm tossing, I will physically say the words and do the motions, so that way even if I'm not super ready to turn yet, I can at least practice those kind of ideas in my head. Toss, turn, look, catch. Then eventually I can get comfortable with doing the turn. I'll do the turn by itself. I'll mimic going toss, do the turn by itself, look, catch without my flag. Now I can do those two parts separately. As long as I don't change my approach and put those two things together, now I have a new skill because I was able to break it down. And you can do that for anything. You can do that for any skill on any piece of equipment. It really, really helps always break stuff down. I don't recommend when you're first learning a trick to just go for it right out the gate, because that's how a lot of us can end up with concussions or broken bones, and no one wants that. So that's tip number 2. Tip number 3, that might seem a little silly, but as someone that has done Colorguard professionally and has auditioned a lot of places, trust me, it helps. Tip number 3 is to look confident with what you're doing, even if you don't feel at the most confident with it yet. That might sound a little crazy because we all know that Colorguard can be pretty hard, and especially if you're learning new choreography or a new toss, it's really, really hard to feel confident with if you're not consistent or you're just not the greatest at it yet. But I promise, especially in an audition setting or if you're trying to master a new toss, if you go at that new toss, and even if you're not comfortable with the skill, as long as you nail that catch, or even if the catch is not your greatest, you're literally hugging your equipment, if you have that sense of confidence, it will completely change how people perceive the way you're doing. You might feel like a hot mess, but you'll look great. Especially, that's super, super important in an audition scenario, whether you're auditioning for independent, drum corps, even just your school's weapon line or whatever. If you look confident, we as instructors can always teach you how to do the skills because that's our job, but giving you the confidence is not something that we can give you. I wish I could just sprinkle dust and make all Colorguard people magical, beautiful performers with all the confidence in the world, but in reality, that's just not how it is. You have to bring the confidence to the table, and we can provide the technique. So that's tip number 3. Tip number 4 is to come from underneath on all of your tosses, or hold your free hands if you're on flag, because sometimes on flag we're vertical, so you can't really come from underneath, but you get the idea. So specifically with weapon, rifle or saber, you always want to come underneath with your, whatever your bottom hand is. Sometimes it's different depending on what toss you're doing, but 99% of the time it's going to be our right hand going underneath. A lot of people that have really inconsistent catches or have a really hard time with strong catches, it's because it goes up and we get really freaked out and we were anticipating that catch and this hand starts to creep up, and then our free hand goes like this, and then our body dips on our catch because my hand went like this and grabbed it at the last second. What you want to do is make sure you hold that picture of your free hands underneath. Make sure that not just this hand that tossed it stays up there, but also your push hand stays down. And then at the very last second, like let's say if I'm tossing a quad, I want to go toss, 2, 3, snap. And I do not want to move my hands until the last second, not only to make my catch stronger, but to make the likelihood of me catching, period, a lot higher. Because even if your toss was too high or too low, the odds of you catching like this are almost 0. But the odds of you catching like this are going to happen almost 100% of the time, even if your toss is really, really funky. So hold your free hands, come from under. Same thing on flag. Let's say if I'm doing a double, you're never going to have a strong double if you go like this. And just approach it really slow. You want to make sure hold, snap, and get there at the last second. One of my instructors that taught me during drum corps, and I still use this analogy when I teach, is think about it like a clap. Yeah, you cannot clap with your hands at 2 separate times. You want them to go together and in that one distinct motion, and that's how you feel a lot stronger. This is never going to be a strong catch, but this will always be strong because it's 2 hands, same time, wait until the last second, snapping it. So to sum that all up, wait longer, move faster, and if you're a weapon, come from underneath on your tosses. Don't follow the rifle with your free hands. That's tip number 4. Here's tip number 5, and my last tip for this video is whenever you're learning anything, whether that could be choreography, a new skill, a new toss, or you just want to get better at stuff that you already know, is I highly, highly, highly recommend, and I preach this to my own students all the time, is take videos and self-assess. That is one of the biggest tools you have at your disposal that honestly I barely even had when I was first starting Colorguard because I didn't even have a smartphone. But you can take videos of yourself doing a skill, or even better, if you have the option to, let's say if you're trying to get better at a 5 and there's someone else on your team that is really great at 5s, or maybe even your instructor, take a video side by side with them and see where you differ. Colorguard is all about making sure we look the same as the people we're spinning with. Same thing can go with tosses, choreography. Take videos, see what you want to fix, or send it to someone who can give you more information. One more final tip I have for all Colorguard performers, no matter how old you are, because I've encountered people that have been doing Colorguard for years and still struggle with this, always have something on your face. If you can practice your emotion while you're learning choreography, it'll become muscle memory and you're gonna get that much better, that much faster, because you're already practicing that performance. Some people are gonna wait like 2 months to put on the field or on the floor. So that's really, really important to get on the jump. Imagine like someone has like noise canceling headphones on and they can't hear your music. What would you want to portray with your face that the music is saying? Is the music really angry? Is it really happy? Is it really sad? You have to be able to portray that with your face, and it might feel really silly at first, but I promise whenever you're on the field or on the floor, if you're the person emoting the most, the judges and the audience eye is going to get drawn straight to you. That is one of my biggest tips, especially if you're wanting to get better at choreography or just the way you look. That is the quickest way to do it. Alright you guys, that is the end of the video for today. Please let me know if you need any more clarification about any of the tips that I mentioned in this video, and please, 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 if you have anything you want me to make a video on, I will try to do it as soon as possible, fingers crossed. We don't know about my schedule, we'll see. But yeah, please leave a comment with either if you need more clarification or if you just want me to cover something else in a different video. I love you guys so much. Keep spinning. See you next time.